I think if Ember hangs on and you get the drawish start, then I think in the game it's pretty bad for Razor because you don't actually do anything to Ember. So this is one that Niku, he needs to play the lane well. He needs to do all the small things right. And if he does, then I think he can be set up for success this game.
It's also a matter of if he does well, then he can actually play onto the wisdom room. If you get double wisdom on the side of Navi or Liquid, it's so important for your draft. For Navi, it's for survival, continuing the aggression. And for Liquid, if you get double wisdom, you delay the aggression of Navi to buy time for the cause to be happy. So I'm really looking at 7-minute mark of the game to be really important.
I mean, I just like that both teams have the drafts where they can fight into each other. Like, we've seen it throughout the entire tournament. If you're not ready to fight back, you just get kind of owned, especially by Liquid. And I think Navi have a pretty good draft, like, you know, fighting back. They've got the Phoenix. They have good team fight around it. And I also agree, like, the first 7 minutes and also, like, the first skirmishes, like minute 10, are super important for this game.
Would you guys say, then, that you're favoring one side if you just had to put it blankly?
It's kind of hard to choose. I'm leaning slightly Liquid just because I think Underlord is really, really good in this game. And if Navi don't get off to like a very good pace, I think he's going to be incredibly toxic with like his double aura and also the Axe to like catch the Ember later. But Navi have like the type of draft where if they get off to a good start, they can definitely snowball.
You guys only get to pick one team. You don't get an explanation.
Liquid.
I'm going to say Navi every time.
T, the contrarian, but also a ride or die right now with Navi. We do like what they've gone for as it is so Navi-esque, but Liquid right now on an absolute steamroll. Let's see if it continues for our very first game in our best of 5 grand finals.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Time to get into the action here of the grand finals here at Blast Slam 6 Malta. I'm ODPixel, joined by Fogged, and we have got the treat today of getting to witness this best of 5 between Navi and Team Liquid. Fogged, we're getting some fun stuff coming in. Navi bringing in some of these supports that they like to play, no one else likes to. You know, Riddies, for example, coming in with a disruptor pick, and then Liquid getting to make a bit of a switch up towards the end of their draft, right? They sort of see the situation mid. They're like, absolutely, Nisha, he's happy to take the Razor against that Ember in that mid matchup, and they get Mickey, the Wind Ranger, as the last pick. What are you expecting from this this showdown here, Fogged?
A lot of fighting. I'm so excited for this one. You know, these two teams, the organizations we can talk about as well, too. Sure, it's not the same players on Navi, not the same players on Liquid or anything, but 10 years that these teams haven't met together. And Navi, right, this is their first grand finals with this squad. So for me, I'm super gassed for them. Very excited to see what this game does entail. And I do think they've gotten themselves a really good draft in order to fight around these early timings. Liquid is all about kind of this pace setting, all about this tempo going. This is a bit of a slower one, I would say, from Liquid. So I do think Navi, with these two supports, Tiny Disruptor, they're super active. They can make a lot of moves. So I'm very hyped up for this one. I think we should be very hyped up with our sponsor, Polymarket. So be sure to put your bets in, etc.
Oh, so let's see what they've got going on here off the back of the pause. I mean, who's going to go for the smoke first? You know, is there first blood potential? I feel like we never really see it happen too much. You know, why is that?
Yes.
Are teams just being super careful when it comes to bounties? There's no point taking the risk trying to get that first blood?
Yeah, I mean, there's way too many. It's like too many risks versus Shadow Demon, too many risks versus Tusk. A lot of these heroes, they can just either increase damage, reposition, or just... Yeah, I mean, Shadow Demon tends to be... If you have Shadow Demon on your team, I feel like most times you're the team that gets the first blood just because you can isolate a target, but teams are just careful right now, man. You don't want to mess up your lane, skill the wrong ability, can just mess up the matchups that you ideally want to look at.
Let's say apologies for the pause here, ladies and gentlemen. Looks like we're just getting things sorted with the players on the stage. So we can get this game underway.
I'm glad that we did get what looks like... Honestly, Navi with 5 of their most comfortable heroes, I would say. You know, maybe you can replace here and there slightly, but like Niku, this is, I think, his favorite hero that I like to see him play. Riddies, I think his Clockwork and his Disruptor are my 2 favorites. Zayats, it's like... Zayats is a little hard because his hero pool is weird because he used to play tree techies all the time, and that's what I usually like to see, but I love his Tiny. I like his active movement heroes, so...
I see some lines being drawn. I'll see if they actually make anything happen with that. And
I'm
in terms of
too, this. I'm just going to talk about the one aura side versus no aura side, right? Which we have to always mention. One team you can maybe look at and has a better team fight lineup. You know, Navi's is pretty explosive. Egg, Shadow Fiend, Disruptor, right? Tons of team fight. Liquid's maybe more about small skirmishes and specific timings, and maybe waiting for that timing. Like we said, this might be a bit of a slower game for Liquid in general until they do have pipe, because it's a like S-tier pipe game, as it tends to be. But yeah, everyone's magic damage, at least early on, until that SF gets online.
I guess that's. I mean, is it going to be as slow of a game as we did see, obviously, the other day against OG, right? We had that sort of 80-minute in which it took for Liquid to sort of take it over in that later stage of the game. If the game goes on, could we see that happen here, or do you think that the sort of results should be a bit more volatile between these two teams with these lineups?
I would say more volatile, but hey, never write anything off in this tournament, honestly. Yesterday's, I honestly thought that OG was going to get steamrolled in that game. I thought it was going to be some 35-minute, this Lycan maybe pivots away from some of these damage items and goes auras, because there was only one damage hero, right? So I thought that game was actually going to be pretty explosive too. But I think best of fives call for pretty much anything. Teams can be a bit more careful, and let's get underway. There
we go. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your patience. We're ready to go here with game one between Liquid and Navi. And very much looking forward to see how these two teams match up. And indeed, the mid lane, always going to be somewhere that you want to focus when, you know, Nisha in particular has been playing at the level that he has. Up against Niku on the Ember Spirit, it's absolutely going to be a test for Niku, right? Obviously, super skilled on the Ember. He's been coming in with some hot performances as well. Grandmaster tier on this Ember Spirit. But you're a melee hero up against a static link. It's not the most fun situation to find yourself in the laning stage.
No, and even just without static link, right? Just with
the plasma spam.
Hits you and just the storm surge, extra little pokes of damage. Yeah, it's going to be interesting. The other thing I do want to talk about is the change in dynamic, though, right? Nisha's not playing an active, you know, Void Spirit, Storm Spirit, Puck. That's the difference. So we'll see if that causes any type of results in the mid game where Niku's able to thrive, even if his lane goes badly with these rotations with the two supports. We'll have to see.
Let's find out.
Going for a sneaky first blood play.
Tofu and Boxy is not necessarily a position you expect to find them.
This is dangerous.
Mess around with Zayats. They've got the blood grenade to set things up. He'll turn with the avalanche. Mikkei's heading over as well to help out. Should be a pretty surefire first blood. They'll try and give it to Mikkei, and they'll succeed in doing so. So first blood here for Mikkei as the carry to start his lane off.
Yep, and he does just go Link level 1. So that was first CS in terms of... Yeah, in terms of that first wave, he's got 20 damage. That's going to be tough for Niku to deal with. Yeah, smart setup. Don't see that too often, that positioning, for people to go.
No, absolutely not. No, absolutely. That catches him completely by surprise. You know, we've obviously sort of seen teams do this whole kind of, you know, start with a tri lane and one of the side lanes for that first blood attempt, but making the move there away from the lane, not something that we're seeing a lot of teams doing at all.
And we did have to mention something too. I did want to say this because Shadow Demon made it pretty far. This hero has been a first ban, first pick of the tournament. So we're going to have to see what results that has too, because this hero just has like infinite potential in games. Either with Demonic Purge, either with saving targets. All of his toolkit just feels incredible. And in this game in particular, there's some pretty clear Purge targets and some pretty clear Cleanse targets that he can protect his allies with versus Change, Fire Spirits. Definitely has.
And I guess that's because the interesting thing there as well is because it's such an obviously strong hero that we've seen being respected in the majority of drafts and matches that we've had so far, that the only reason why it would be let through, right, is because Navi believe that they've got ways to play against it.
It's got to be just like, I mean, most of the job is going to be Zayats. And Zayats and Niku, they've got to be the hunters, catching the back line, causing chaos, making sure this Tofu can't play the game. But it can be a bit difficult. I've seen these Shadow Demons either be very tanky or very sneaky, and he's going to have auras, so we have to factor that in. Niku's doing pretty good, by the way. Watching those couple waves, he was doing pretty good in terms of last hits on those. Very close.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, getting quite a few denies in actually against Nisha. You can only imagine that it's probably going to get harder and harder as the levels come in. The Razor gets stronger in the matchup. Niku's going to end up taking more damage, losing more right-click damage to the Link. See top lane Tofu in trouble. Zayat's a PMA able to get the kill as he's caught out just outside of the lane. So Navi getting themselves their first kill on the board.
This is a fun lane to watch. I like PMA on his Phoenix quite a bit too. I think they strayed away from it for quite a few days, if I'm not mistaken. I actually didn't get to see all of the games yesterday. I don't believe that he played it. No, he didn't. So it's been some days since he did play, but I do like when they play this style. Goes for that bearing build that we've seen a lot of times. Shiva's very valuable.
Oh, bottom lane. Hey, they can get the glimpse back, but it's snowball save. Got the juice. Can he still get in range? He's not going to quite be able to there without good snowball save from Boxy. Obviously something they will always have to try and stop that sort of move, which is very important, right? You get glimpsed back into a couple of raises, it could set up for easy kills for the safe lane SF. So a lot of focus is going to be on Boxy to be ready to make that counter play anytime. Got the juice and Riddies go for that.
And in the game, right, we were talking about it us like when this draft was going on, but they have Shadow Demon and Tusk versus Glimpse, so they will have two different ways to bail each other out in terms of either laning phase or in the mid game. Riddy's going for it again. Foxy.
See if they can get it this time. They're actually going to turn aggressively with the snowball straight onto Got the Juice. He'll get a raise out. Can he bring down Ace first? He can't. Nope. Ace will survive a little longer. Does still die to Riddy's, but survive long enough to get the kill, get the XP, killing off Got the Juice back over in the mid. We were seeing Niku. He was playing aggressive under the tower. He was doing a pretty good job with it, honestly. Getting a lot of pressure onto Nisha, getting him low, but was ultimately playing with fire, or at least in this case, electricity. Nisha's able to turn, run him down, and get that kill. It's one of those just super dangerous lanes, right? Niku's trying to push it to the limit. It cost him his life there.
It does, and I mean, we hear Quinn talk about that all the time when he plays versus Niku, right? Niku sometimes just does have a little bit of these random deaths where he pushes the limit a bit too hard. Then
Got the juice. Yeah, very nicely chasing him down there, catching him just on the edge of that long distance raise. So, whilst he did get taken down in that lane, they're starting to kind of get the action going down here, get some of the kills going the way of the SF. So Got the Juice, despite dying, he's going to be pretty happy. Farm's still good. He's matching that of the farm of Mickey on the other side of the map. Both of them very similar CS. See mid, TP coming in from Zayat. He does have a mango, and he's going to get the toss onto Niku, closing the gap with the chains, but Niku's very, very low.
Oh my god.
Well, that was a risky toss there. You know, that was nearly one of the tiny airlines gone wrong. He does live, he does get out, so you can see what they were trying to do. But it's not just Niku apparently who likes to take the risks around the mid lanes. His supports like to help him take the risks as well. He gets away with it this time, but that was a bit close.
Isha's really bullying now that he's 3-2. 2 points in that static link. Niku's having difficulty dealing with it. That was 71 bonus damage. I don't think the Tiny saw it at first. Is Tofu?
No.
He's trying for like a solo play, but that's quite a bit of mana used.
Zayas will be able to walk back to base, get the refuel. TP's going to be coming into the mid now from Riddy's. They couldn't do it here with Zayas. Maybe they could do it here with Riddy's. They certainly can. Thunderstrike and a quick glimpse back. I mean, these sort of moves, very important for Navi, right? You got to be bringing in this backup, allow Niku to get the chance to get kills. Could be in trouble here. Tofu is around, snowballs coming in, so Liquid in return, they bring both of their supports and will manage to punish Niku after Navi were able to make that initial move to take Nisha down. So we're seeing that focus around the mid. It's kicking off as we'd hoped for it to be, and it's coming up now to that first power rune. We'll see if both teams keep the supports around and who's going to be able to get their hands on it. At the moment, Liquid's got the numbers. Still Nisha, backed up by both supports here for the 6-minute rune spawn.
Hard to contest the SD Tusk. These are just a bit too strong around that one. See if Riddy's can maybe even go for a deny on it. No, they can't. So Nisha, he'll get that one. He's 6 now too, so Eye of the Storm is ready. Looks like he wants to be active with it. It is seen by the ward. Looks like that'll get dewarded pretty soon. Riddy's.
Does Nisha just want to settle for Riddy's, or does he want to try and go for the lane and see if he can catch out Got the Juice?
Riddy sees him
down. Gonna get the quick glimpse onto him. So should keep him safe. I mean, well, actually, not with the shards like that. They should be able to get him. Boxy, make sure that he still gets the catch on Riddy's. TPs are coming in. Nisha wants to finish off the kill, but won't quite be able to dive the tower. Now he's taking huge damage indeed from the raises coming out from Got the Juice. Nisha, he wants to swing back, and he's refueling up here with the bottle. They'll get the root onto Got the Juice. The raises, though, come through. Got the Juice able to take Nisha down. He dies at the end of it all, but Liquid, they took a lot of damage for this aggressive move. And now with Zayat's coming across, they'll pick up the kill against Ace as well. Boxy's got to run. It's a bit of a hectic play there from Liquid to get the kills, and they might still lose Boxy as Zayat's. He's not really got mana to play with anything. Riddy's, he's only really got a glimpse to use. That might be enough, though. Snowball is going to be coming out from Boxy and the shards. Nicely done to block them off on the high ground. TP is coming in though for Got the Juice. So he actually might be able to line up the raises, and he will. Couple of hits in a raise. Got the Juice. He's more than happy that his supports didn't kill Boxy off, because as he comes back into the lane, he gets to pick up another kill as the SF. I mean, we're seeing so far, Liquid, they're trying to bring the action. A very aggressive move there for Nisha to come and look to use this invisibility rune. It kind of comes back to bite them. Nisha ends up dying for that play.
This is a really interesting kind of sequence of things that happen too. PMA dies top, so immediately they start running for the wisdom. And I think Niku was actually recovering in terms of farm in mid because Nisha had left, but I think his team made the call. Niku, we need you to go steal the wisdom, because otherwise we're going to lose both the wisdoms. So he kind of, even though he could have probably recovered more on net worth there, he actually sacked the net worth to go get the wisdom for his allies. So he did recover slightly, but he could have recovered more on net worth. But yeah, that's what you got to do for a team.
Riddy's trying to keep Zayat safer and all that. See if they can get the snowball in. They're going to be fine in Navi. Navi can back away. Liquid can't quite get the grab on them. Navi able to keep Zayat safe. Now the Tiny to walk back over to the tier 1 here to stay safe around the mid.
No one wants. This is how both teams like to play. I mean, Quinn's gonna have a lot to talk about this too, right? Because it's a CY thing, right? There was this Gaming Gladiators versus Liquid year of meta where it's sitting in mid around the 2 mid. So both teams are kind of doing that similar thing right now. Sharing the experience. Riddy's very close to having the 6. This is gonna be an early disruptor level 6. This could catch Liquid off guard if he's able to finish it up here. Very close. I'm surprised they didn't give him a creep or 2 more.
Also, the
big stacks
has been happening elsewhere. I mean, Mickey's kind of been left with a lot of space top, but as we're seeing, just the fact that there's been so much involvement for Got the Juice that even with the deaths, the kills are absolutely outweighing what he's losing with each of the deaths. He's top of the net worth right now on the carry SF. Very happy to sort of be down here and be involved in the action, which it just goes to show really how mobile Navi supports have been, making sure that they've not only been able to just sit around the mid, but also managed to still connect with the carry on the safe lane when needed. Niku's going for him in the mid. He's got the Remnant out.
Can't quite.
Yeah, can't continue to force for the kill.
No. I wanted to point out Mickey's skill build. This is actually pretty interesting. They might actually go for a glimpse play bottom, so I have to hesitate for a second here. Looks like they can't. But yeah, he maxed power shot. I think it's because he's playing versus the Phoenix. Even though he's tangled, he can't actually get the attack, so he wants that big nuke damage. So, I mean, makes sense to me. Usually you see 4-0-4.
Absolutely, yeah, especially when you're going carry and you're taking tangled, yeah, so definitely a different approach.
Probably about that lane. I think it is more about just helping the lane, and then afterwards he'll have the points for tangled for the movements. So a bit of an interesting adaptation.
Yeah, definitely also, yeah, just letting you push the lane out a bit easier, right? When, your supports have kind of probably said to you, sorry, Mickey, we've got problems elsewhere. We're going to be hanging around the mid lane, making moves down bottom. We don't want to be up here on the safe lane. You're going to be completely solo. He's able to handle that situation with this build.
Zayats.
Shackle him. PMA is here to try and help out, but focus fires in. Zayats doesn't stand a chance there with the focus fire and tag team combo. PMA's going to attempt to run down Boxy. Niku's got the chains. Tofu has disruption to buy some safety for Boxy. Still has the shards and the snowball. Boxy's making them work for it. Niku, he's not going to be able to continue to run him down. Yeah, just between the two of them, the supports, saves upon saves. Ends up just being a bit of wasted time, unfortunately, for Navi.
These saves are always going to be a problem. There's a reason, as we said, Shadow Demon's banned or picked in the first every single time. Just the power that this hero can do. Just a disruption. And, I mean, of course, Boxy with some 6 shards. We've seen him do a couple times here. Navi getting the pressure on top, though. Playing around, got the juice. As you said, top net worth on this SF. They've got this static storm ready, so if... Liquid, if they're not properly set up, they can't actually go for this defense. They also are always going to have Glimpse versus the Fiend's Gate, so... We'll see how Liquid wants to be able to set up the defenses. The Tusk is coming.
Yeah, they're coming in. But it has been hit by the scan, so Navi know that these sort of TPs are coming in.
Juice.
Got the juice. He wants to push to finish the tab, and now the fortification comes out. They get the shards underwater. He's going to go for the Requiem. It'll actually be a bit of a toss to the side. Gets him into a bit of a favorable position, as they're actually able to just kill off Boxy without the Requiem, just to sort of the right clicks alone. They get the tower, Navi. Now they can try and push on for more. Liquid, of course, were able to kite out the Supernova coming in from PMA. It works, it did look a bit,
it's a lot
kind of having the Requiem being interrupted, but why not the Requiem? Zayat says, no, you don't need to use that yet, son. Keep that safe for the next fight.
He had the right idea.
They get a kill.
Right?
Yeah.
Zayat is like, my guy's stuck in shards. I want to toss him out. There is a static storm and an egg and everything on top, but either way, he's thinking about just saving his buddy. Liquid, they kind of reacted, but I could tell, I think Nisha was like, I'm not going. Nisha was just hitting creeps, so
sure. Maybe
it was an attempted defense, and then they realized there was just no way when they know they can get glimpsed.
Yeah. In terms of builds, right, you were talking earlier about obviously the power of a inevitable pipe on Liquid's lineup. The same to be said, right, for the BKBs, and that's why we're getting Nisha going for this BKB rush straight up on the Razor. Once he has that, other than the SF, he's going to be pretty much indestructible, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you're playing versus when you have less team fight than the opposing team, if you want to rush BKBs, it can absolutely work. As Boxy,
get the catch
not
on
dying
him.
the fastest.
He's got Snowball to buy him time. But there's not going to be anyone else helping him out this time round. Tofu not anywhere close by to sort of bail him in that situation. So another kill to be found by Navi. Okay, yes indeed, going to get PMA in return. And there's nobody coming to punish him. So Mickey, again, throughout this all, only the one death. He's getting the chance for these kills. He's living a pretty quiet life, really, on the top lane, but he's happy with it. He's happy with it. Still not quite keeping up, though, with the farm of Got the Juice, just because of the overall objectives, right, they've been able to take. You know, we're seeing Navi already pushing down the tier 1s, maybe even finding a chance to go on Ace. Ace is pretty tanky with the Vanguard and the Cloak. And with the TPs coming in, Navi will quickly back away from trying to go in for that one. But yeah, Navi are enabling this SF pretty good right now. Got the Juice is hitting some pretty impressive timings.
Yeah, and I think like we were mentioning, right, Navi overall, I think they want to be the ones dictating the pace. Liquid's draft is a bit more slow-paced, waiting for these auras, waiting for those BKBs to counteract this heavy team fight, the egg, etc. So I like the way Navi's playing. All 3 tier 1s have been claimed. Liquid has not really touched too much of the tier 1s, and they're keeping this oppressive playstyle. So looking for these moves, placing aggressive wards, looking for the catches. But Liquid, they're not getting as caught. They are sitting back, they're getting ready, waiting for these BKBs for Nisha in particular to rally around. See his approach works. Got the juice, as you said. He's continuing to just be very, very large in this game.
Yeah. No, he really is. He's probably close to the point where I mean, you know, what do they look for next? Tier 2s this early? Is that sort of on the menu? Or at this sort of stage, when you come to the 15-minute mark, is it very much a let's wait till the 20 minutes, get the Tormentor, get the Roshan, and then we'll look to take our lead to the next stage?
Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. Wait to fight around your cooldowns, play around your cooldowns as best as possible versus Liquid's lack of big team fight cooldowns, and play to the number advantage. You know that the way the Liquid's going to fight is try to Fiend's Gate port, bring this extra number. If you have the numbers there, you glimpse that target out, it's going to take him a couple seconds to come back. So Navi still continuing to play as this unit, 4 heroes in the top jungle. Zayats is away from them, but they're still
Riddy's is looking to set up.
Playing.
Snowball's going to be coming in onto Riddy's. He'll immediately turn, lay down the kinetic field and the static storm. Got the Juice trying to come in from the side. They'll use the Supernova. Catholic would take it down. Nisha's looking to kill the egg off. They'll be able to bring it down successfully.
Nico hit it.
Got the... Oh, that's pretty big, Bray. He got the deny. That was cute. That was certainly cute. He's dead, though.
Wait. Okay, 1 second. I need to
well, okay, I see what, because you want to do the math
and
say if he didn't deny it, would it have actually been successful?
I think it probably would have died because there 1 hit left, but the Requiem came out at the same time.
Dude,
like,
there's no way.
Were
surely.
During
Let's have a look.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Watch the Requiem. Watch the fear. Wait up. Let me see.
I'm watching. No, Nisha would have hit. Nisha would have hit it.
Nisha would have hit. Okay.
Nisha, he was BKB. He would have hit it. So, you know, Niku,
perfect.
able to sort of limit what Liquid get a little bit there by getting the deny of the Supernova. And he didn't grief because the Supernova would have been killed anyway.
Fair enough.
Still not a great fight for Navi, though. They lose big kills at the end of that.
I think Riddy's camping the front line.
Sides. Got the toss on a Boxy. Still got the snowball, though. But Nico on top of him. He's not running away from this one. Surely not. No. Avalanche gets him. Boxy will fall.
That was, okay, so yeah, Navi, I like how they're playing oppressively and all that, but I think Riddy's has to be a bit more careful with his positioning. Disruptor.
That was a little too much, right? Yeah.
Yeah, just a bit too far forward. It's because they didn't have the Tiny, I think. So PMA dove forward, they're trying to get information, but they don't have their actual, you know, walk up and initiator on the Tiny, so it got a little awkward. Sorry, Nico, I didn't mean to do you injustice. The BKB Razor was offside for me.
But dude, if he was a bit, it was very much worth looking at, right? Because that could have been a little awkward. But now Niku, he assessed the situation. He knew it was safe to take his teammate down, get that deny.
Take his teammate down. Like,
you know, sometimes it's, I mean, it's something about you don't actually get like the obviously exclamation right when it's a supernova, but if there's any time one of your teammates has got one of those exclamations over their head, you have to hit them. You don't even have to think about it. It's just for a boost in morale, and everyone finds it funny when their teammate denies them, I think. Well, at least that's what I believe when I mute them. Anyway, bottom lane.
He's trying to poke the BKB. That's what those type of plays are for. You're trying to force BKB so then maybe you can go for a play after. But Nisha's being patient. Liquid is getting these timings, so items, they're starting to rack in. Pipe almost done for Ace, Mjolnir for the Wind Ranger, and the BKB for the Razor. Yeah. So Navi have to be very ready for this next fight.
They might catch Tofu here. Yeah, they'll drop a Static Storm. Nisha's going to be here at the side to try and help out. But the glimpses there, getting Tofu back in towards the Static Storm. They get the kill. Navi probably in their best interest to back away now that the time's been there for the rest of Liquid to turn up. Looking at the Roshan here, Navi.
With the kill? Anytime you get a kill with SF, you get that presence. You have opportunity to go for this threaten. I think they could... how long on this steel respawn? I think they can contest on Liquid.
I was going to say, I think Liquid's going to want to. They've just picked up the pipe on Ace.
Oh, DD. That's fortunate for Got the Juice.
Well, that might actually change sort of the situation here. Still, I think Liquid's going to turn up. I mean, they're surely going to want to. I said they got Ace with the pipe. He's got the Fiend's Gate ready to join them. They are going to have to do it soon here, Liquid. Roshan falling. Scout out the situation. Nisha's ready to kind of come in from the sidelines. Got the juice. He wants to finish it off. He'll use the record to try and push them back. He'll get the kill. They'll pick up the Aegis. Nisha pops the BKB. Will look to take out the Supernova. He'll be able to kill it. Can he get away, though? Glimpse on towards Nisha. Caught by the chains, but it's absolutely just casualty after casualty on Navi's side. Got the juice is going to try and TP out, but the disruptions there from Tofu. They're going to lose everybody for that fogged on Navi. They were so close there to it working out. They get the kill. They use the Requiem and the Supernova at the end to try and secure the situation, but it wasn't enough. It wasn't enough. Liquid turn up. They're ready to take these fights. And
the Underlord timing.
Get the Roshan and Aegis for nothing at the end of the day. They get team wide fogged. They see it again.
I think like right before the fight finishes, I think he gets the pipe, jumps in, barriers everyone, and it just stops. Look, they all have that extra little blue barrier, and it protects all of them. That pipe is just giving so much extra protection. The egg, I think he missed one attack on Nisha on it, but then ends up getting that last one. He completely focused it himself. Just the Razor killed the egg.
Yeah, that was
Liquid just very good target priority in the team fight. The angle that Nisha comes in, I think caught them off guard.
Dude, I think he actually missed like 3 hits on the egg.
Was it 3? I thought he switched targets, but you might be right, yeah.
Because I think the Ace was the one who kind of saved the day, then actually came in with the last melee hit to kill it. It definitely started to look like maybe that Supernova was going to be successful, but of course it wasn't. And maybe even if it was at that point, the fight's still not going to go too hot for Navi. I mean, they had the right read to try and push for the Roche. Yeah, we'll see it again. Look, let's see how many misses he gets.
I saw one. I didn't. I saw.
Is this one at one? But... Oh no, never mind. He hit that. It's now, I think. Oh no, never mind. He hit that one as well. That one he misses.
That he hits SF.
Okay, then he hit the SF. I think, yeah, you're right. Then he's, yeah, okay, so just the one. You're right.
But yeah, great approach from Nisha. This BKB is massively paying off, as we see. He's the one that just kills the egg. He just BKBs, commits, kills the egg. No one else worries about it. It is level 2 egg now with Shiva, so maybe that's going to add an extra element that he might not be able to, but that was a pretty commanding fight win for Liquid around that.
Look at this move mid.
The Ember now. Niku.
They're going for Nisha. Ooh, that's a solid avalanche toss back, but it's still not quite enough. The BKB's off from Nisha. Backup comes in. Zayats is going to get run down by the Razor. Snowball coming in over towards Riddies. He'll drop down the Static Storm, go for the TP out, and I tell you what, there's nothing to stop that, so he'll get out of there. Same to be said for Got the Juice. Also goes for the BKB TP. So Navi, they're able to make sure that they only lose the Tiny, but still, obviously, it's just these team fights, these trades. Liquid are coming out on top. 5k lead now for the team. Further auras coming into play. Crimson Guard's now done for Ace. They're getting the BKBs on, sorry, the Blinks online. Boxy's going to have his Blink coming out in the courier, so the saves are going to be even more substantial from Liquid. It does feel like it's going to start getting harder and harder for Navi now at this point.
Yeah, I mean, I had a big worry around the pipe timing. I looked at their lineup and I'm like, my goodness, this is all magic damage. SF takes some time to ramp up in physical. I think the itemization from Liquid is just on point here. The Razor rushing BKB, of course, the pipe as we mentioned,
smart,
but just now they have Crimson also. The Atrophy aura is going to reduce a ton of the damage too. These fights are very hard for Navi to approach now at this point. Niku has been completely shut down. Same thing for PMA. It really is just Got the Juice versus the world now, and so much of that damage being negated is a problem.
Yeah. They're having to go for sort of the backup plans here. PMA looking for the Midas. It's got that queued up now as the Phoenix. Some heroes, some carries, right? You're kind of okay with it being a 4 protect 1, but SF, it's not really one of the ones that's at the top of the list, right? That you kind of feel all right being just that one scaling presence on the team. It's a little risky, right, when it falls down to just the SF alone to carry the game onwards to the later portions.
Yeah, if it was an SF with, let's say, like a Mars as the offlaner instead of the Phoenix, where they have that hard lockdown, big team fight control, then maybe I can be a little more happy with the 4 protect 1. But with this one, he's playing versus the Razor Link, he's playing versus the Tusk Punch, he's playing versus a Shadow Demon, Demonic Cleanse. A lot of these abilities are like just completely shut down when you are playing a 4 protect 1. You just, purge the SF. You just punch the SF. And it's going to make it really hard for Got the Juice. So he needs this Daedalus. He needs every single item that he can get. Because, his work is cut out for him versus Liquid's just very strong group up.
Yeah, they've been very good at this, Liquid, in the kind of the previous series, previous games that we've had them here on the main stage. Just kind of knowing when to react, right? When to wait, and when to hit the creeps, and then when to be like, all right, you know, we've got everything to beat them in a 5v5. Now we're going to turn up for them every single time that the enemy tries to run into them. You know, this is sort of Liquid now in their element, and getting to play the game at a pace that has been very successful for them so far in the series that we've seen from them the last few days.
Pretty much since that top play happened, right? It's all started to quickly swing. Liquid was already just, they were fine, right? They were still even. Navi really wanted to press the issue forward here. Now it's, yeah, the question of what's your recovery outlet? Since your SF needs the crit, he's the only one who's really going to get that much stronger in these next few moments. Niku will also, but I think PMA, the Phoenix's game is going to get pretty damn difficult because he's got his timings, right? He's got Shiva's at a pretty okay time, but as we saw there, it didn't matter. He
did. But yeah, he's pretty much going to be a Shiva's and a Supernova in the team fights. With all the BKBs and magic resistance from the pipes, you know, the effect's just going to be about the kind of the slows and the stun through the BKB with the Supernova. If he can get it off successfully, and obviously as we've seen the last few times, Liquid, they don't have troubles prioritizing the team, you know, just focusing down the egg, making sure they get the kill on it. It's going to be even easier now that Mikkei's got his BKB, so he'll be able to just look towards taking that down uninterrupted by any sort of attack speed slows. And they're actually ready to just get aggressive now with the smoke Liquid. You know, they're not afraid to start making the moves themselves now with the lead that they've managed to build up.
They can Fiend's Gate. They can bring 5, so it's not a 3-man gank. They can quickly be on top of Got the Juice.
And look who they found.
Is near.
It's the big target. They get the setup. We'll get the BKB off. He'll try for a Requiem, but he's not. Ooh. How's he going to be able to get it off? But it doesn't matter. He's dead. PMA's caught in the root. I mean, it's the perfect find, right? They find the SF. They jump him. He gets his BKB off. He gets his Requiem off. It doesn't matter, folks. He's still dead.
The stability of Liquid, you're just seeing it. Navi, it's an uphill battle for them, of course, versus Liquid, but now you're starting to see the Liquid, the timings, right? We said it might be a little slow in terms of early game, but as soon as they get those timings hit, how does Navi break it? And now Zaya also.
Yep, they're going to be able to find. Boxer with the setup, Mikkei with the follow-up. Navi, how are they going to slow this down now? How do they sort of get themselves out of this tough situation? Starting to fall behind.
It's hard to see how they can make the moves around since they just, every time that they're respawning now even, this Fiend's Gate's going to be back up too, so they can always just bring the numbers. Liquid identifying exactly how to take complete control of the map now, it feels. It's got to be toss-back plays, right? It's got to just be trying to look for some repositioning either with glimpse and tossbacks, but Liquid just on top of the aggression.
And just sort of a similar situation as we've seen yesterday and in other games, right, where Liquid, all their three cores get to farm right. These 3 cores becoming 3 carries. It was really the same situation with the game 3 against OG yesterday, where OG just had 1 carry. It's the same case here. Obviously, yesterday, that game did go like 80 minutes. It was pretty crazy. Obviously, OG didn't manage to make the comeback, make the turnaround, but it was still a very fun one to watch. Again, being an SF, that's sort of the one standing there on his own compared to like the Gyro in a similar situation yesterday, it really isn't. It really isn't. He needs so many more items to be able to be that kind of super scary hyper carry. As you can see, he's got queued up like the MKB, the Daedalus, the Satanic, and honestly, he kind of needs to find a way to make those 3 items exist. Otherwise, it's going to be just far too much for Got the Juice on the SF to stand up against these 3 carries of Liquid alone.
Yeah, at least the crit and the MKB. I mean, the Satanic, I mean, sure, but like, yeah, he needs every little thing he can get. The lead just continues to grow. Liquid starting to get pretty much anything they want on the map, making moves. Looks like they're going through Portal. They're smoked up. There's a ward there, but it seems like they know. Liquid knows where Navi is without vision themselves.
Yeah, Got the Juice is already getting out of here. Yeah, does not want to stick around a moment too long.
Okay, so backup plans. That's what we have to talk about, right, for Navi.
What's the backup
so I think
plans?
Backup plans now start to come. Did Riddies get greedy on his neutral item? No, unfortunate. Maybe he'll get the next one. But the next one is, it's the Aghanims, right? I think that's probably the biggest game-changing thing that can happen.
It can do a lot. It really can. It really, really can. And PMA, you know, he actually locked back in. You know, he didn't sort of zone out and go for the Midas. He's like, you know what? We still got a chance now.
Cool.
That 4 staff, go for the Lotus. He's like, you know what? if I can't be the offlaner because of the the fact that he's fallen behind, he wants to be that additional support. Just go all in on being able to save and protect the SF. He's a team player here.
All right, I mean, we'll see if it works. Catch. Underlord has the Aghanims. That did actually not connect. All right, Niku's is fine. So Ace has another insane item that makes Niku's life even more difficult. I mean, Niku's already had a really tough game. Now he has this Underlord who Aghanims plus a pit. There's so much control for him. Catch.
Suspect on Tofu. Might be able to find something here, Navi. Yep, with the third of them coming in with Riddies. Get the glimpse back.
It's a kill. Liquid is coming to counteract, though. Are they going to be ready? Navi?
I mean, they're sticking around, Navi. This is risky. Got the juice. He's caught by the shackle. Uh-oh. Well...
Got the risk.
Yeah, I guess they really felt that Liquid, didn't care about Tofu going down. They did. They were running straight over to make sure they got something in return. And yeah, they're more than happy with Tofu sort of falling in that situation. Pays off massively. Yeah, Navi just caught off guard there a little bit. They were not ready for that. They had to get out of there as soon as they got that kill, Fogged, and they did not.
Uh-oh, Niku.
The root set up. Another snowball on the punch. Oh, that shackle. Oh, that's a nasty one there from Big K. That's a nasty one. Oh, it's getting out of hand, Fogged. It's getting a little bit out of hand mid lane.
And look at Nisha. Doesn't want to BKB.
But Riddies, with the blink, maybe. Maybe not. Bogsy's coming in with the wraparound for the side. Mickey's able to scout him out with the power shot into the trees. Riddies will be dead as well. Liquid, they're starting to play with their food a little bit now, Liquid. They're having some fun, and Navi not having a lot of fun at all now.
No, and how fast it all accelerated, right? Like we said, that top fight, when Riddies just a little bit too far forward, they deny their own egg. They back up, they go for the Roche play. Liquid, from there, it's just been smooth sailing, buying a gem, 2 controlling vision, and now a Roche. Big game. Got that finished up. Liquid does just, especially at this tournament, man, they've found their stride in terms of hitting these timings and not really letting go of them too often. Yes, yesterday, like we said, it went to 80 minutes, but they kept themselves in that pretty commanding position without throwing things away.
Yeah, they really are. They've stepped it up. I think, Nisha, he's been having a great time, and part of that has been because they've been able to set him up very nicely in the drafts, right? Yesterday we saw it in these situations where they were constantly able to secure him.
Oh, the Manta bait.
Oh, wait, did they fell for it? They fell for it.
They fell for it.
Okay. But not with the ultimates, at least. They've still got the ultimate.
No.
So nothing too crazy expended on it. I mean, Nisha getting all these high mobility heroes in the other games, and then this game, a bit of a different approach, but that sort of situation where he's able to make the call at the end of the draft that he wants to take the Razor mid because he knows that he's going to have this matchup where he's going to do pretty well. And, Niku gave it his best shot, but there's only so much of a shot you can give it against a Razor in the lane when you're playing something like an Ember.
And overall, Nisha in this game, he didn't really have to be the one making the moves, right? It was the Shadow Demon and the Tusk setting up and making all... Nisha just hit creeps this game, I gotta be honest. Yes, he had some good rotation moves, but he has 330 last hits at 30 minutes.
Yeah, he's going to be, again, just sort of that... A tried and tested 3-carry situation that Liquid's been getting away with. And the one carry on Navi at the moment is just getting punished over and over again. Got the juice dead for a minute.
Oh, Riddies did not get greedy, by the way. Sorry, I don't know if our beautiful observer pointed that out, but he did not get the greedy neutral token, so that Aghanims is going to take a hell of a lot longer. It feels like it's one of the only... I mean, it's a very big reach anyway, but it's probably one of their only win conditions to come back in this one with the way the Liquid's playing.
Sure. I mean, because you're right. If they get like a 5-man Aghanim Static Storm Kinetic Field into a Supernova, into a Requiem, maybe.
I still don't know if they have damage, but still.
Maybe. Liquid.
They're so tanky. Like, honestly, Liquid's heroes are so durable at this point with the Pipes, the Crimsons, 3,500 on Razor. Everyone unbelievably durable, even if Navi gets the combo connection.
Yeah. And one of those, one of the heroes that we did obviously see create, some sort of counterplay to what Navi was trying to do in the mid game was very much this Shadow Demon that Tofu got, which kind of raises the question of, are we going to see that hero get through the draft till like 4th pick again this series?
SD and Tusk, I don't think you give Liquid both of these. They feel
it's the two best saves in the game right now, at least in this meta. Yeah.
And they're also incredibly aggressive, and they're anti-carry heroes. That's the other thing too, is they both have like BKB piercing ultimates. that kind of just lock down the enemy. Sure, one's not a stun, but it just holds him in place and eventually will break him if you want to.
That's more like it.
But Liquid, with the way that they played around it, is really the highlight, right? The way that they moved around, allowed Ace to get those timings, and then picked the right battle pretty much to just decisively win this one. Because yeah, Navi, it's such limited hope for them. They're having difficulty stepping outside and getting juice anything now. MKB, I think, is done.
Okay.
Let's see what they can do with it.
As you said, there's still no Aghanims on Disruptor.
No.
1,200 gold off. And the push is coming in from Liquid. They're going to try. Get the toss back. Towards mid-game. Mid-game's taking some big hits here, of course, from the SF. Not enough to kill him, though. He'll get away. The glimpse is going to be attempted, but the disruption's there. And, of course, even if they did catch him, still has that Aegis. They will catch him now with the jump forward at the Remnant. Aegis is there. He's going to be back for round 2. Look at the punch up onto Niku. He's got to be careful as the BKB soon to be coming to an end. Zayas will come in with the avalanche toss back into the Requiem. They'll burst Ace down to about half HP, but they have nothing else to throw at him. The Supernova goes off successfully, but it'll just have to be a defensive one as he'll back off here, PMA. Niku is going to get jumped still underneath the tower. He's been caught. He's dead without buyback, and Nisha's ready to start charging him beyond the tier 4s. It's over. They'll tap out. GG is called. Liquid take this game 1. As Navi, they just couldn't get the strategy going, Fog. They tried to force it a little bit too much in the mid game, and that really was when it started to crumble. And Liquid, they got to take the rest of the game out pretty relaxed in fashion, right? Yeah, Liquid, they've gotten to do this quite a few times here at Blast Slam 6. Once the game is in their hands, they don't let it go.
They truly don't. I mean, rallied around the auras. Navi maybe have to come back in with a different plan. They were making some good moves. They were making some good aggressive stuff, but the inevitable aura thing did feel like it was coming into play. So let's see if there's going to be some small adjustments made. Maybe having PMA play something different, perhaps just to match that versus this Liquid play style. We'll have to see what the adaptation is for the upcoming games.
Absolutely. No, we definitely... we know, especially after Navi's crazy series yesterday, that they can offer us a lot more than what they brought here in this game 1. So looking forward to see how they step it up, because they're going to need to. As for now, Liquid coming out quite clearly on top. They take the first game.
Those players are going to have their time to make adjustments, and while they do, we're going to talk about everything that happened in this game 1 for our grand finals, because Navi, they were off to a good start. We could have seen this game go very differently, but ultimately, you get the one item on either the Razor or the Underlord. Quinn is literally rolling his eyes, by the way. The camera cut away, but the eye roll is there.
I mean, I just think Navi, they need to either have matching auras or they need to not play against auras, specifically Underlord, because I think this team is just not clean enough in the early game. Their moves, they have the right spirit, I think. They're making moves, they're trying to speed up the game, but it's not quite clean enough. It's not quite fast enough. So eventually the auras come online and it's just too hard. And so I think they need to fix that for next game.
I mean, already you can see at the net worth, right? It's like Shadow Fiend up top, and the rest of Navi just below the cores of Liquid. And that's not the type of game you want to see from Navi when you're picking a Phoenix in the offlane, when you have aggressive support through Disruptor and Tiny. Like, you need to be playing into the map, finding these kills, like just making moves happen. And if you're already looking at like a 15-minute mark Shadow Fiend by himself, you're kind of opening up Liquid to utilize their kind of wind ranges and razors and heroes that want to lock onto one dude just to kill him off. It was just uncomfortable, I think, for Navi.
I mean, I can definitely see this draft work because they played pretty well. Of course, they can, they could have done even better. But it's again like around this mid game, they mess up like a very crucial Roshan fight where, if they get that Aegis, they can keep playing like fast and making it happen. I think Nico on the